Right, man in boxing, led the Flair Cops. Shout out to Goodfellas Sports TV.
All right, one last video to top off the night. I wasn't even planning this video. I was talking shit on Twitter, but all I want to know is why these three stooges ain't required to move up in weight at all. All right, these dudes are supposed to be, you know, at this point in their career, pound for pound fighters. But Shawn Porter and Keith Thurman been hiding out at welterweight at 8 years now, almost. All right. After Shawn Porter debuted at 168 pounds at super middleweight, and Keith Thurman debuted at 154 pounds after getting dropped by Brandon Hoskins, moved down to welterweight. Errol Spence had been at welterweight 7 years before, you know, he moved down, you know, from junior middleweight, and also fought as high as middleweight. All I want to know is why ain't these dudes required to move up in weight? At least Gennady Golovkin, you know what I'm saying, he treaded water and he stayed at 160 pounds his entire career. Let's talk about it. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video, right? This ain't what people talking about. All right? We can exclude Danny Garcia because Danny Garcia at least moved up one weight class, right? This ain't no Costa Zoo shit. All right? This ain't no Gennady Golovkin stuff. You know, I think Gennady Golovkin Costa Zoo was career 140-pound junior welterweight and 160-pound middleweight, career middleweights. That's cool. All right? If you want to rock out like Marvin Hagler, I don't have no issue with it. But we got these three stooges who's moved down. Some of these dudes moved down multiple weight classes, excuse me. And at the end of the day, they scared shitless to move up. We shouldn't even be in a conversation talking about Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, or Terrence Crawford and Keith Thurman, or Terrence Crawford and Shawn Porter. This shouldn't even be a conversation. These three dudes, these three stooges, should have been fighting at 54. It's cool to come down to 47, you know, pad your resume, get a few dollars in your pocket, get some belts, call yourself a 2-division world champion. But to be hiding out of the division for almost 10 years and still not taking chances is beyond me in my Ha Davis voice. All right, you got these punk ass niggas that's scared to fight a lightweight in Bud Crawford. Now, Bud Crawford ain't gonna come out here and speak up. He did his talking. They say, "Oh, your sister doing it," or Bernie doing it. He do his talking with his hands. All right, I'm talking that not from a Bud Crawford fanboy, not from an Errol Spence hater. I'm talking from a boxing fan. And most of you niggas then forgot, you know, you forgot y'all niggas done had nuts. A lot of y'all dudes got vaginas out here, and y'all forgot to speak out the truth. These dudes been banging out a weight class that's beneath where they originally started at. That's beneath what they was at you know, in the amateurs. And I don't have an issue with them coming down a few years, getting the belts, fighting each other, moving up to 54 pounds. That's cool. But these dudes that sat here and made this shit a safe haven, and they done came down here and fought once, twice a year, you know, and they didn't start really fighting each other until Bud got into the division. Once Bud got there, then Al started forcing Shawn Porter and get ready to fight Errol Spence. You know, he started forcing Danny to get ready to fight Errol Spence. At the end of the day, before Bud really got to the division, none of these niggas had no ambitions on fight him. And to this day, Keith Thurman still don't want to fight him. All right? He should be thanking Bud Crawford for coming to the division and starting to get it moving. Because before he beat Jeff Horn, none of these dudes talking about popping off for Errol Spence. Had Bud not got to the division, Errol still wouldn't have got Shawn. He still wouldn't have got Keith Thurman. Al should have had this division monopolized. He should have had Jeff Horn and Manny Pacquiao head on a platter. By the time Bud moved up, one of his welterweights should have had 3 belts, and it should have been an undisputed fight with Bud or Jeff Horn or Manny Pacquiao. All right, but ain't nobody calling a spade a spade. All right, ain't nobody speaking the truth on this. These dudes in overstayed they welcome because they scared to move up because they can't hack it. I ain't trying to hear, oh, he trained with Jamil Charlo. Nigga, sparring is sparring. It's a difference between you sparring with somebody at a different weight class and fighting. They say Errol knock out heavyweights. You think he can go 12 with any heavyweight right now in the top 50? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No headgear, no 16-ounce gloves, or none of that shit. Hell no. They say Shawn Porter beat Usyk in the amateurs. If they fought right now, who will win? We know who will win. Alexander Usyk. These dudes, you hear Keith Thurman, he wanted to move up and fight Andrade. Andrade gone. He almost at 68 pounds. You ever hear Keith Thurman trying to move up and be a 2-division world champion? You don't even hear Errol talk about being a 2-division world champion. You know, all they doing is constipating the welterweight division and holding it up. These niggas had their time, and it's time for these dudes starting to get picked off. Shawn Porter, what else can he do? He don't want to rematch Ugas, but he won't Keith Thurman to rematch him. But he won't Errol to rematch him. He won't Danny to rematch him, even though he beat him. You know, but he don't want to get Ugas a rematch. It's time for his ass to move up too, with his daddy taking 60% of his purse. You know what I'm saying? Keith Thurman had fought Manny Pacquiao, Shawn Porter, Danny Garcia. Maybe he had injuries in every fight except for Shawn Porter, and he was coming off a car accident versus Shawn Porter allegedly. What else is it for him to do at 47? You had the power. You had 2 belts. You could have unified with 3 or 4 belts. You didn't. Your day came and gone. If you don't want to move up, it's time for you to retire. Straight up and down. Errol Spence got 2 belts. You did what you came to do. You don't want to fight Manny Pacquiao right now, then you got to wait. You got to fight Danny. You got to fight the winner of Sergey Lipinets and Qdoba. And then Shawn Porter going to be up mandatory for 2 belts after beating Sebastian Formella. Or best case scenario, you fight Manny Pacquiao late 2021. Worst case scenario, you never get Pacquiao. Pacquiao only fighting 2 more times. You know what I'm saying? So if you look fantastic versus Danny Garcia, Pacquiao not gonna fight you. If you look bad and win, Manny Pacquiao gonna fight you. If Danny Garcia beat you, Manny Pacquiao gonna fight Danny Garcia expeditiously. All I'm saying is, why did it take 8 years when all these dudes are beyond their best? All these motherfuckers beyond their best. Errol Spence, the best at welterweight, came and gone. You niggas don't want to believe it. He been weight drained. And then when he get his ass whooped, that's going to be the excuse to the car accident and being weight drained. Shawn Porter is the MVP, most valuable participant. Been gone. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't putting none of these niggas in the Hall of Fame unless they go grab a belt at another weight class. And that's what it is. And nobody asking these dudes to move up. Nobody asking these dudes to give multiple belts in multiple divisions. But then again, people want to talk about Gennady Golovkin. And don't give me that shit, oh, welterweight is the only way you can make money. Canelo made bread at 54. Canelo made bread at 55. It ain't no weight class. He made bread at 160. He made bread at 68. He made bread at 75. If you a real boxing star, if you as big as they think Errol Spence is, you're going to make money wherever you go. You're going to be the money man at 54. You're going to be the money man at 60. And that's the God honest truth. The God honest truth. Shawn Porter go to 54 right now. He the money man. Kell Brook went up there. He just a bitch. He was the money man up there. Kell Brook can have any fight at any price he basically wanted to name at 54. But he's scared to compete. Keith Thurman go up there right now. He the man. But you know what? Them extra 2-ounce gloves on your hands, they ain't got that much power to begin with. All these dudes will get exposed. These dudes going into their 30s after, going back to their original weight class. And that's pathetic, bro. And if Danny Garcia move up to 54 before these 3 dudes do, man, get out of here, man. These niggas don't deserve to be in Hall of Fame. I promise you, bro. If Danny Garcia move up 3 times before they move up to their original weight class, man, don't tell me nothing about them. And if Bud move up another time and fight Patrick Teixeira before these dudes move up, don't tell me about that, man. If you a fighter and you a household name, wherever you go, Canelo show you can get that bag. That's a fact. Canelo show wherever you fight at, 54, 55, 60, 68, 75. If you got the juice, you got the juice. If you don't, you don't. And this is why Al Heyman is bad for boxing, bro. Like I said before, I ain't hating on no black-owned businesses, but we operate like some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And the narratives are true. And look how you operate like this, bro. These dudes should be competing for, 2 or 3 world champions in 2 or 3 different weight classes. And they constipating the 147-pound division. You know what I'm saying? And still scared to compete. Keith Thurman still scared to fight Shawn again. Scared to fight Errol. At this point, you 32 years old and you scared to compete. It's time to hang it up, Playboy. But y'all know what it is. Goodfellas Sports TV. Don't forget, we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out if you got a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video request. Want to make a donation, CJ Good 313, Cash App, PayPal, link in the description. Best way to donate is share the video. Send this to your favorite PBC fanboy, favorite PBC fighter, because they scared, they shook. Ain't no such thing as halfway welterweights. We gone.